Hello and welcome. As we get ready for today's yin practice, please make sure that you have a blanket ready and a block and any other beautiful padding you need. As we get into our practice, let's get started laying on our backs. We're going to move into a twist here. So we will begin with a twist. You'll lay on your back, bring the right knee in towards the chest, and then draw the right knee over towards the left side of the mat. Now you might find that you actually want to bring some sort of prop underneath the right leg here so that it is nice and supported. I'm going to do that so that I have a block or even a bolster underneath the right knee. And then just take a check out. Make sure that you feel like your spine is in one long line. So your right hip isn't way far off to one side, but rather everything is in one long line. And then optional here, if your body's feeling excited for it, is to bend the left knee, and you can bring the right hand to the left foot or ankle to catch the tiger's tail. And I'm going to have my left hand just resting on my right knee here. And we find ourselves in this twist. When you land, you draw a deep breath in. And then take a long exhale to settle the body. Inhale completely, fully. And exhale to settle back body, low back and hips. Inhale for spaciousness. And exhale for release. And that's the intention I'd like to bring to our practice today, that of energetic release, energetic clearing. Not holding on to the things that no longer serve us, to the things that weren't even ours in the first place, to all the little dust and fragments that we gather as we move through our days. And I think it's really important to acknowledge how other people's energy and the energy of other things can get stuck to us. Now, we don't live in a vacuum, right? Even if we pretend to shield ourselves off. So we use practices like this to open up the closed off spaces, to wring out the dirt, and find ourselves with a clean, clear energy, an energy that reflects our true nature, our true sense of well-being. So notice here, if you're doing any tightening against the shape, what happens if you give a little wiggle in the toes, relax the thighs and hips, keep the right shoulder softening down, the left shoulder softening in turn, the head heavy and relaxed. And you'll draw a deep breath in and a long exhale. You have hold of your left foot, slowly extend the left leg. And you'll bring the right knee into center, taking both hips onto the earth. Maybe you even rock and roll the hips a little side to side, whatever it is you need. We'll get ready for our second side. Bring the left knee into the chest, extending the right leg long. We'll bring the left knee over towards the right. So I'm going to grab my prop again and bring the block underneath the left knee. And then once you found that knee over on the right side, take a moment to feel that your spine is in one long line. And then you can bend the right knee if you choose, taking the left hand to the right foot. Feeling the right knee pointing down towards the base of the mat, right hand on the left knee. And again, we draw a deep breath in through the nose, expanding, expanding, and then exhaling completely. Inhale to gather and bring in the new energy. Exhale to release anything that's old, stagnant, stale. One more round. Inhale completely. Fill, fill, fill. And exhale to release. And again, you settle into this shape, into your body in this moment. Open to what is here. We're soft and present. I think about the way that our skin is in contact with the outside world. I actually think about like a frog's skin. They talk about all the moisture, right? As they like breathe through their skin. You know, in some ways, we humans also breathe through our skin. Skin's highly absorbable. So if you put, lotions with funky ingredients in it, or use cleaners that have funky ingredients, right? Like your body takes that in through the skin. And so we do our best to surround ourselves with chemicals that are clean as possible. Even fibers in our clothes that are supportive. And helping to choose what it is we absorb through this large organ of our body, the skin. And in the same way, we set an intention of mindfully absorbing the energy that is around us. Notice if you're tightening against the shape at all, can you soften in? Draw a breath in and an exhale. One more like that. Full inhale. Release on the exhale. You'll extend the right leg long down the mat. Slowly draw the left knee back into center. And back up to your neutral place here, shaking out softly those legs as needed, or moving the shoulders, the spine, whatever movements feel natural for you. And then you will roll onto your side and come on up to a seated position. So in this seated position, let's find our blanket to sit on. And I'll also invite you to have a block or even two handy. And what we'll do is we'll take the right leg out to the right. I'm not trying to pull it out as wide as possible. I'm actually thinking if I was facing straight forward and that was 12 o'clock, my right foot's about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So it's not crazy out. I'm going to bring my left foot nice and close up to the pelvic floor. I'm sitting nice and tall on my blanket. I feel really stable and steady, like the perineum is plugging into the earth. And then I'm going to put a little bend into my right knee. Here's a place where there's an option to actually put this block underneath the knee to create this bend. It'll feel pretty nice. And then I'm going to start to twist to the left, right hand to the left knee. And then I'll reach the left arm overhead and lean over to the right. So once you get here, you might be like, whoa, this feels really stretchy. So right elbow can come down onto the ground or even onto your block. I'm going to move my little block forward so I can bring my right elbow onto the block here. If there's not space, use your second block, right? Whatever it is you need to do in order to be here in this side bend. So on block or elbow on earth. The left hand can be reaching up and over to your right toes, or you can just hold on to the back of your head. And this is if you are just moving those elbows in two different directions. And here we rest, here we stay. I'm going to move my right block back because I'm going to bring my right elbow down to the ground. That's what my body likes to do. You work with whatever it is your body likes to do. So we get this big opening through the side of the ribs, the side of the heart. Right, in doing so, allowing full, fresh breaths into the body. In the process of breathing deeper, it means we get to exhale deeper. And actually, I think it's something like 70% of our body's detoxifying happens through our exhale. So I know we love to do all these little tips and tricks for your liver and for your, digestion and all of that, but actually, one of the best things you can do for your detoxification process is breathe a little deeper so that there's more to exhale, more to release. You soften the right toes. Relax into the body. I'm going to actually even release the body down deeper because my elbow feels too high. I'll turn my right hand to the left knee, so that's an option here for you. You feel the left hip soften to earth. You create this length through the side of the waist. As you exit this shape, you want to be really soft with the body, pressing into the hands to help the spine lift back up the center. I'm going to keep my right leg going out to the right and then just begin to fold the body straight forward. Now there are options here. You can just reach the body forward. This is great. Another option, if you have that second block, maybe that block comes underneath the forehead. You have more padding, couch cushions, a bolster, that might also come underneath the body here. I'm actually going to create a little ramp for myself so that my bolster can rest on a block and I can rest onto the bolster. Thank goodness for Yin. You get to adjust your shapes as needed. Again, as much as possible, softening into the shape rather than working against it. Notice how in this shape, you get really spacious through the low back, flushing through the kidneys so that they too can do their filtering work and allow wastes to leave the body. Ask yourself what might be holding against this shape, and can you soften it? Knowing that in doing so and softening all the edges and breathing through the skin and flushing through the kidneys, we allow the accumulated energy to be released. We allow all that is not us to move back to its rightful place. Let's have another breath in and a breath out. Inhale to lift the body. Having to sit tall, I'm going to remove my bolster out of the way because we have to move to second side. So take the block out from underneath the right knee. If you need to take any little movements, feel free. I'm going to take my block or my left leg out to the left. Right foot comes in. So again, remembering this left foot's pointing towards somewhere between 10 and 11 o'clock. It's not way far out to the side. Putting a block underneath my left knee. You can also use a rolled up blanket here. I will twist to the right, left hand to the right knee. Right hand reaches up and overhead. I lean to the left and bring the elbow down onto your block so that the hand can cup the ear. Right hand can come to the back of the head, and this might be your place. When and if it feels right for you, you can draw the elbow down to the ground. Maybe the right hand might come over to the left toes. Find wherever it is that allows you to find the length through the right side waist so that you are staying in the side bend. Give a little softness into the left foot, softness into the left leg. That reminder that we're not trying to tighten up against anything, but rather to soften into what is. You breathe wherever it is that you find yourself, knowing you can shift the shape around as your body gets used to it. What is ready to be released? What is no longer needed? Making space in your body. We'll have another breath in and an exhale. We exit the shape slowly, being kind to the body. And then we fold forward, directly forward here to find this even lengthening out through the kidneys and the low back. Again, I'm going to bring my bolster to have a little place to land. And can you really feel that breath moving into the back body? So that you're actively creating that space through the back, through the kidneys, through the backs of the lungs. Space for the new. We'll have another breath in and another breath out. Press into the hands to lift yourself up and remove any padding out of the way. We're going to move into our final shape here. I'm going to invite you to take this into a heart bench. For whatever reason you prefer a regular Shavasana laying on the ground, feel free. We're going to set up our two blocks as parallel lines towards the back of the mat, with a little bit of space in between. I'm going to move my blanket off to the side, and then I'm going to lay myself on the blocks, the shoulder blade coming onto the lower block, and then the head coming onto the second block. Options here, you can have the feet on the earth and the knees bent. This is going to be the most supportive for the low back. You might even choose to extend the legs. This will be a little more stretch across the front body. Last option is to bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. So you see what works best for your body. I'm going to go with the legs long. Find a space that's comfortable for your hands. I like palms facing up here, this gesture of opening up the front of the heart and of not holding. Take any last little wiggles you need, anything that just helps you settle into the shape. And then find your rest. Truly letting go. Body into earth. In the process, letting things be soft. So that any unneeded energy can simply flow away. On your next inhale, you'll draw a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Slowly bring movement to fingers and toes as you wake the body up. And bend the knees if they're not already. Bring the feet onto the ground. And find some strength into the arms as you lift the body up. Coming to find your seated position. Eyes can be closed with a soft gaze. Hands can press together at the center of the heart. Feel the whole body breathe right here. Feel the softness of your edges. And feel this opportunity to release anything that is not serving you. We'll draw another breath in deep. Exhale. Inhale for Om. The light in me very humbly bows that same light in each one of you. Thank you so much for practicing.